Morning. 4 days between Yom Kippur and Sukkot, each one corresponds to one of the letters of God's name. When you go to the mikveh, you're supposed to think about that letter. Yesterday was Yud, which is Chachma usually, and Hey today, which is Bina. We've been talking about the Supernal Mother, which is understanding, and how that's what we celebrate, and that's what the future redemption is going to celebrate. Not just for a day, but every day will be like a type of holiday that makes all the current holidays look sort of diminished. So we're now in chapter 8. We're getting up to chapter 12, and I had to do a massive running start with this one because I was so fascinated by it, and I wanted to actually. We'll see how far we can go. But I'm hoping, welcome to chapter 14, to go up to there, and you'll get the understanding of what Chassidus describes as tiny Beireh, when the Creator has, the pleasure of the Creator is the ultimate reward, and what that means. So chapter 8. Now we're going to understand what the revelation of Bina is, of understanding that's promised in the future to come. I usually talk about Das because, for example, in Rambam it speaks about Maleh Haaretz Deya as Hashem. Everything's about Das. Bina is the result of the effort you've made in understanding something, relating to something. You have the opportunity to connect with that with Das. So what are you connecting to? You're connecting to Bina. So everything is about celebrating Bina. So all of our Das is focused on this, especially during this time of the year when we're coming to the time of Sukkot, where we celebrate the Makifim de Bina. Bina, understanding, even though it's lower than wisdom, has a higher source in that it speaks of a more divine accomplishment to create a created world and have it understand something of infinity. So that's what we celebrate in Sukkot. It's related to Makif, transcendence, because transcendence is the source of creating physical things. Everything is ultimately about physical, as we learned that the souls who have been in Gan Eden going higher and higher every day for thousands of years already will have to go back to a physical body to experience the ultimate reward. So the ultimate reward is in the lowest realm, the physical realm, the Dir Bataktainim, the dwelling place of Hashem in the lowest possible realm, reflecting the fact that that's a greater divine power, that even there should be this. And specifically there, you're going to see the ultimate expression of infinity. When you have a regular, natural, seemingly organic earth, and with its rules and its whole spectrum and hierarchy of values and things we give value to, there's something that creates all that, and when you see that the natural order is transcended and there's a boundlessness, a reflection, that is the recognition that infinity has to be here in our. I wish I could show you this place. Here, let me just give you a couple of clips. There's the dog. There's this farm. Should have started with that. And it looks like an 80s Scarface scene. But we're elevating that in a, wow. What, like, there's no walls here. I have an office with no walls. So everybody has to be subjected to this at 6 a.m. So why is Bina associated with the future to come? In what way? Is that the place where there's the Gilui the revelation of pleasure, specifically in the realm of Bina. And you have to fully express this in an essential way, we learned, because in the Garden of Eden, you also have an experience of Bina. That's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to understand infinity there, the Shekhinah. But there's something more fundamental about Bina as it exists in the physical world. So this will be experienced specifically in physical bodies, to be able to lachazais, to behold, tzuf tam ha'ilm haba, the incredible pleasure of the world to come. Dehineksi v'hankel ayave yesh, as it says, to bequeath to my beloveds, yesh, something, which is the 310, it's the Shai Eilamos. V'neida ki kol davar shenishava v'eilam zeo kol yesh ma'ayin. And it's known that everything that's created comes ex nihilo. Im ken kasher musag b'ganedim b'chidas ruchnis nivroim hanal. Therefore, when the souls in the Garden of Eden contemplate or have an experience of musag, they understand it, b'ganedim b'chidas ruchnis nivroim, as a spiritual being, V'chilufeihan zehu akol b'chinas ha'ayin ha'mahiba hayash. And everything within the spiritual realm, everything is created from ayin, nothing. So as Hashem relates to the physical world, that's called Malakal Amin. God fills the world. Therefore, in the Garden of Eden, you can't change your ways anymore. You've already established your character, and you basically have a reward designed, tailor-made for who you are. But in the physical world, you have an opportunity to transform yourself and recreate yourself. However you've arranged yourself in this world, that's the way it's going to be for you in the world to come. That's talking about the Garden of Eden, which is a world of souls. When the soul leaves the body. And the reason for this, why it's spiritual, is because it relates to the realm of Mamala, of how God interacts with everything, all the creations, according to their frequency, according to who they are, as opposed to just something out of nothing. So that's more reflected in Gan Eden. Although that the pleasure that the souls have in the Garden of Eden is from the radiance, the shine that was produced from their Torah learning, the study that they did in this world, and their divine efforts, their Aveda, their attempts to get close to Hashem in everything. The Midbar Sinai, Jerush Hasheni, Shazeo, Gavoya Harba, Yesim Kumesha Hayan Hashem Ganin Terran, Hislav Shus of Aguf. And it's understood in light of what that the souls experience something much greater than before they first entered the body. They benefited from their journey into the world. Shahaya la Hagili Rakum Chinas Bria, behind the Ganadin Ha'elyon, because the souls, before they came into the world, they experienced Hashem in a way of Bria. That is the level of creation, and it's the supernal Gan Eden. And it gets higher than that through coming down into body. Even though then it's a descent, and the soul only achieves the lower Gan Eden, so it left its nest. But since it's a shine that they experience, the souls experience in the world of Bria, in the Gan Eden Atat, in the lower Garden of Eden, it's the divine response in the world of Atzilus that's shining back. So you did Torah and Aveda in this world, you learned Torah and you did good things in this world. That elicits a divine response. Here it's called the masculine waters of Atzilus. The Atzilus Shebepnimius Asiya Gavaya Harba Mefinas Bria. And Atzilus, the highest world, in its inner quality, it actually means the Atzilus that exists in the Pneumius of Asiya, which is the physical world. So each world is embedded in the one that it spawns. Welcome. So Atzilus is a divine world that creates, we describe Atzilus as an analogy or an allegory, the next world. It's a symbolic world compared to the origin, which is higher than it, the Atzilus. Anyways, the Atzilus Shebepnimius Asiya Gavoya Harba Mefinas Bria Be'etzim Shu Bechinas Gan Eden Ha'elyon Shehu B'Bria Im Kol Zehu Rak Bechinas Ziv Teras Moedasam Marei Ze Bechinas Ziv Levad. So even though this is Hashem's response that they elicit through their efforts, through their soul's journey in the world, that's just a radiance and not the thing itself. So it's hard to call Hashem a thing, but then what are you going to call him? K'may ha'ayin ha'mahei v'hayesh, as the ayin, the nothingness, from there comes the creation of the yesh. Rak shaziv zehu yesek v'yim mekinas aziv ha'mahei v'nivroim. It's just that this radiance is greater than the creations that are there. Because this is a shine that comes from the Torah and the Veda.